What's up? So I kind of have a layout for this, so it might, you might get less ums and uhs, right? Uh, and just to kind of put it simply, here's how I think your goals should be set up. Because last video I just kind of said that like resolutions are kind of stupid, and if you're gonna do something, you should just do it. Like, why make the very next thing you do after establishing a goal is saying, but I'm gonna start it at this point, on the first. So I guess kind of I'm gonna give you an example or two of mine because I do have goals. I'm not like the perfect person who's just like like don't even do this. If you're gonna wait, just don't even try. This is a good one right now. What you were watching, this is a good goal, right? So, and this isn't like for the year of 2025. Now that that's what it is. I'm still saying on, I didn't like rehearse this. If you couldn't tell, none of these are rehearsed. But, I would like, I gotta stop saying that. That's a goal. I'm just gonna stop saying, and, If I have nothing to say, if I don't know what I'm gonna say, I should just stop talking, gather my thoughts, and spit it, right? So, in relation to YouTube, I would like to be by the end of this year, and I'm leaving it a range, right? Because a range allows for room for growth. That's a big thing. That is a massive thing. Don't reach point B and stop. Why should you? If it takes you 1 year to reach this goal, why don't you keep going for the next year or for the next period of time that it took you to take or accomplish the first thing, right? So if you're limiting yourself to a year to do something, that's stupid. Right here, I have got written down 1250, at least 1250 subs. And then I got, it's, it's, I wish I could remember what kind of, it's a range, that's what it is. So it's 1250 minimum, and then you got X is greater than that, and then X is less than 2500. I don't think that's that much. Thanks to you guys, I've gotten like 23 in the last month, right? I don't think that's too far off. I want 100 videos at least. That's one per 3.5 days or something. And then lastly, I would like to have a microphone and maybe a better like webcam or something, I feel like that's all like reasonable things. Nothing's too hard to obtain, but with this range, I want to specify. I put 2,500 plus, right? Like, I didn't even need that. I should have just put is less than Y or something, and then it still makes sense. It's X is greater than 1,250. Y is the goal, but it's also better than X. And if I reach X, I'm happy. It's like, that is a perfectly fantastic number, right? I'm working on certifications, and so I'd like to get a few of it's just Coursera or something, so it's not like anything big. I'm not going to school. That's a goal of mine at some point. It's just not happening now. I'd rather pay off what debt I have now, which in relation to that, this year, I want at least half of my debt paid off, which is about $500 a month. It's perfectly doable with like my current rent. My income, bit scary. It should be doable. Like, that's not a very hard thing to do. I could probably do more, but barely. And I guess that's all I have written down. Oh, here. I would also like to have read 50 books. Not fiction. I don't like fiction. I've even got books here that I've never read. A lot of them pertain to like some kind of science. I have a few different like programming books. like I should be reading some of those, is kind of my point. I have a couple on Amazon that I'd like to buy. Architecture's awesome. You know, like I don't know, maybe if I were to add anything to this list, it'd probably be like aim for this income for the year, which is really hard to track because I don't usually say how much money I gain and what I spend. I can just see what I spend on my card and I earn cash. So maybe yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna add that, right now. Keep track of income. Paychecks. And then I'll add expenses and just put transaction and receipts just to like add it, I guess. I don't know if it's necessarily at all necessary considering I put expenses, right? Just kind of an elaboration in case I get a lobotomy or something. But yeah, so I think the two biggest things, and whenever I'm talking about goals, which is logical, I think, objectively logical, I think you, like, maybe a time limit isn't a bad thing. So if you're gonna say I want this to be done before 2026, that's cool. But you shouldn't say I'm gonna start at this time. You shouldn't give yourself a window for the future. I mean, like, it's January 2nd. I gotta wait till next year to like do something, which it might be radical, but if it was June and I have been smoking for 10 years, then why would I wait another, 7 months, up to 7 months to stop smoking if that's something I want to do, right? So I wouldn't set a future window. A time limit, if it works for you, it does. Like, it might keep you focused. Like, if you're gonna, make a game, just be like, I want this part of the game done before Wednesday. I want to be able to do this by Friday. And I'll give myself 2 weeks to like create some kind of storyline or whatever, like set end dates if it works for you. And then the third one, and what I think is most important, is don't necessarily like limit yourself there. Like if you're doing something every day, you shouldn't stop as soon as you get to the end goal, or every month or whatever. Like I want to make my like loan payments, my car payments or whatever, every day on this day of the month. If you make decent money, even at that, you shouldn't just pay the bare minimum. I mean, I think if I were to pay both of my student loans, which I have for forbearance, because the money has been tight, so like I made a couple of calls or whatever, and was approved or whatever. I'm not actually making payments right now, just because my income is extremely low right now. But when I start making money again, I'm gonna be making like at least one extra payment to one of these loans per month to try to like eradicate one of them. And then I have two loans to pay off, and then I have one. Like I don't know, if it's something like that too, you should make an extra payment on your lowest loan. Like the biggest ones will grow the quickest, but if you can just if you have like a $5,000 loan and a $10,000 loan, and the payment is the same, like I think it makes sense to pay the smaller one off first, because if you're paying 200 and 200, yes, this $10,000 one is going to be gaining more interest or whatever over time. By the time you pay the $5,000 one off, if you're paying $400 a month, double. it just seems like it would be worth it, because then, at 4,000, it's 2 years or something like that, or 400. It's like barely over a year. It's a year and like 2 weeks or something. Uh, so it's 13 months. You make payments on this one for 13 months. That one maybe turns in not to 26, but to like, 30 or something. I doubt it. That's $800 in 2 years of interest, which is wild. But it's not so far fetched. I mean, there are some wild interest rates. But yeah, no. Don't limit yourself to like the potential you could be reaching, and then don't set future windows, and you are allowed to set like a due date for your goal. I mean, it's like school or something. You should just follow the due dates.